All right, guys. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Apologies for having to come right back. But I think I figured out what my issue was. So hopefully it is solved and I won't have this issue again. All right, guys. Again, happy Tuesday. Hope everybody is doing fan freaking tastic. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking some women's basketball today. We just kind of just got done talking about the All-Star ratings and how they have blown everything out of the water and how impressive they are and yada yada yada. Very very much excited to talk about um, uh, to talk about uh, you know, the All-Star game. And again, just to recap that, guys, that you know that 3.4 million viewers watched on this Saturday as Team USA played against Team WNBA in the All-Star game. This is the third most viewed WNBA All-Star game of all time. And we are continuing to see numbers improve for for the WNBA as a whole. And I, for one, am very excited about it. And I am hoping to see that this continues in the future. All right, now let's continue on. I do want to spend a part of this live stream talking about Team USA and what happened today. So today, Team USA faced off against Team Germany, and Team USA won 84-57. And so if you look at that and you're like, whoa, that is a blowout. Yes, it was a blowout. I do want to talk about some key learnings that I took away from this game is, and I think that this game is a good test for Team USA. Yes, Germany is nowhere near at Team USA's level at all. And Team USA didn't even play as good of a game as I thought they could play. But they ultimately do end up with the dub today. And, it's good to see. It really is good to see when you see Team USA getting their job done, getting a dub. Now, there's something very, very specific that I want to talk about in this game. So if you all also let me know if y'all watched this game in the comments. If you all watched this game, you all probably saw and maybe heard the name Alexis Peterson a lot. All right, you may have saw number one doing some crazy dribble moves for Germany. You may have seen her, get some really good looks to score. You may have seen her just kind of do her thing. And you may be wondering, who is this Alexis Peterson person? Who is she? Why is she with Team Germany? And what's going on in that realm? Well, I do want to talk about Alexis Peterson real quick. So I am going to actually really get into Team WNBA. And Maria, I see your question. I will absolutely answer that right after I do this. But I do want to talk about Alexis Peterson because Alexis Peterson is emblematic of a lot of American women's basketball and also NBA men's basketball players as well. In their decisions they're American, but their decisions to leave the United States and become a citizen of another country so that they can play international basketball. And that is the case for Alexis Peterson. So if you all see this jersey, you all see the fact that she has a Syracuse jersey on, and that's because she played at Syracuse. So she is a former Syracuse player. She is an Ohio native. She became a dual citizen of both Germany and the United States earlier this year because she wanted to play in the Olympics. When she was at Syracuse, Alexis Peterson averaged 14.8 points a game. She averaged 4.4 assists a game and 2.7 rebounds a game. She was a really good player for Syracuse. She was the ACC Player of the Year in the 2016-2017 season, which is pretty impressive. Again, ACC Player of the Year. She was the second team All-AP, All-American that year as well in 2016-2017 when she averaged, that was actually her senior year, actually, and she averaged 23.4 points a game at Syracuse her senior year. She also averaged 7 assists a game and 3 steals per game. She was on the all ACC defensive team as well. First team all ACC recipient twice in her career. She was a good player. She was a good college player. And then when it came time for the WNBA draft, she was drafted number 15 in 2017. She was drafted to the Seattle Storm. And her career in the WNBA didn't last long. Didn't last long at all. She was drafted to the Seattle Storm, again, 15th overall, and she stayed a year. She played a year in the WNBA in 2017 and didn't make the team after that. She was waived from the team, and she started to play overseas, and she has never played back for the WNBA since, really. She's a casualty of the WNBA. When we talk about the WNBA, we talk about there's only 144 players, right? Only 144. What about her? Well, she didn't make the cut. She was a really good player in college. Had sparks of doing something in a W, but ultimately it wasn't enough to keep a roster. So she ended up going overseas and playing. She's played for a lot of different played inside a lot of different countries. She played most recently. She's played in Israel, and she made the decision to join Germany. But she did actually have a significant career with USA Basketball before she left. So she was on the 2021 USA Basketball 3x3 Women's America Cup team, though she did get injured that year. She didn't actually get a chance to participate that season. She was on the WNBA, or she was on the USA Basketball roster in 2023 for the FIBA 3x3 Women's Series, and she did play there and helped Team USA to get to a third place finish. And after that, she decided to become a German citizen and play for Team Germany. Now, Team Germany needs a lot of talent. And so they have her as their starting point guard for their team. And I thought she didn't have like the best game in the world, but I thought she was pretty impressive today. She was pretty impressive. She played fearless. She played 30 minutes for Team Germany. She finished with 9 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. And so I thought that was pretty cool. And I wanted to talk about it. Because I thought it was pretty impressive. It was pretty impressive. All right. So that's kind of the talk about Alexis Peterson. Now to this game itself. I thought the game was fine. I thought it was a fine game. When we talk about Team USA, I thought they played better than they played against Team WNBA this past weekend. But I don't think the defense was like that much more amazing in today's game for Team USA. I do think that the difference between this game is the fact that is Germany, and Germany just isn't really up to snuff when it comes to women's basketball, and they weren't much of a challenge, and then we have the score that we have. So ultimately, yes, Team USA wins this game, but I don't think it was that impressive of a game. Now, if you all watched the game, let me know in the chat what you all thought, but I really didn't think it was that crazy impressive. Now again, let me know if I'm wrong on this one. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I just don't think it was that crazy awesome of a game. It was fine. Team USA won. They won substantially. Germany is nowhere near at the level of Team WNBA, and understandable why. And we'll just continue to roll from here. I mean, I don't think it's that ginormous of a thing for Team USA. So that's what I would say on that front. Sure, they got the win. Sure, it's important, but at the end of the day, they probably learned some stuff about some players. I do think that we will see Alyssa Thomas get more minutes as we go on to the actual Olympics. I thought she played really, really well. I thought that we saw Jewel Lloyd play really well as well. And it's up to the other players to step up and make some stuff happen. So overall, I thought it was fine. Not crazy amounts to go home and talk about when it comes to that game. All right, so hopefully that makes sense to you all. That's kind of my like quick recap about that game. Now I do want to talk about some other stuff real quick. Including answer some of you all's questions. So thank you all so much for putting y'all questions in the chat, and also thank y'all for coming back on after I had to hop off the last stream. I think I figured out what my issue is. I think I cannot play video on these streams. In my last stream, I had video playing, and I think that was the issue. All right, I think that was the issue. So in this stream, I had clips that I wanted to show you all, examples of what I was talking about, but clearly I can't do that. So no video, but we will get into other stuff. Okay, Maria is asking, putting the question back in, how did you get into basketball? Are you a former hooper? So I got into basketball as a kid. So my parents, well, primarily my dad and my brother were like ginormous Bulls fans growing up. And you know, it was a lot of basketball on TV. Growing up, it was a lot of basketball and WWE wrestling. That was what we watched. You know, we watched a lot of basketball and WWE wrestling, and you know, they were ginormous Bulls fans. I wasn't. I mean, I was cool, whatever. It was during the Michael Jordan era, and I think I was like kind of like too young to understand what was actually happening. But I enjoyed their excitement, and I think that sort of helped to pique my interest in a way to women's basketball, to basketball in general. And I would say when the WNBA was created and I started to see the WNBA actually show up on TV, and I was like, what is this? This seems pretty interesting. All the while I was starting to play for my park district. So I played in the park district league. My dad ended up getting a concrete slab when in our backyard, and put up a hoop, and me and my brother would be there for hours playing basketball. Because we just loved it. It was a thing growing up. Like that's just what you played. You played basketball. I didn't watch any football. Like I didn't know anything about soccer. I literally knew nothing about any other sport besides basketball, WWE wrestling, which I thought was real at the time, and figure skating. That was about it. And that was only during Olympic time. So that was kind of like the thing. And then I kept playing, started seeing more women's basketball, played for my junior high, played for my high school, and just ginormous fan. Like every time I can get a chance to watch basketball, I was watching it. Men's or women's, though I did prefer women's. But men's basketball was my thing too. And yeah, I was just a massive fan. So ever since I was a kid, really. So, you know, I guess what kids watch when they're young actually does pay off, because like I watched a lot of basketball growing up. Yeah, it really did help me out later in the future. So yeah, big fan of basketball. I didn't play in college, but I did play in high school. I did a little intramural in college, but I was too short to actually play in college. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. I do appreciate y'all asking like random questions like this. It's always kind of cool to have sort of like a Q&A type of thing where I can answer the questions that you all have. Overall, I love basketball. I love it. It's the best, in my opinion. It's just about the best sport in the world, in my opinion. But yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. All right. So let's see. Con Lenny says, I would like to see a WNBA All-Star Game format which has the WNBA vets on one team against players who were from 2002 through 2005 WNBA draft class on the other. So here's the thing. Here's what I would say about that. Here's what I would say about that. I'm not sure about that specific idea as an example, but I do think that there needs to be some sort of vets versus in the All-Star game. All right? Because in a way, this All-Star game this year was kind of that. It kind of was vets versus the youngins, even though technically it wasn't. I understand technically it wasn't because you had some older players on Team WNBA and we had some younger players on Team USA. But overall, I think that was the sentiment. Overall, it felt like the old guard of sorts versus the younger guard. It kind of felt like that watching the All-Star game. And guys, let me know in the comments if y'all think that is like, if y'all agree with that idea in terms of, it sort of being like an old guard versus new guard type of deal. I do think that when we talk about the WNBA, there needs to be some sort of like peg really to get people to watch. It's because it's not just because the WNBA isn't massive enough to just be like, well, just watch just because you just should watch, right? It's not about that. You have to have some sort of peg to get people to watch. Yes, Caitlin Clark has been a huge peg to get people to watch the WNBA this year. Yes, Angel Reese has also been another big peg for folks, and you have folks who still really enjoy Sabrina Ionescu and just sort of other players. But this year it really was Caitlyn and Angel's first All-Star game versus Team USA, who said they didn't want Caitlyn. And it was a whole thing about, Cheryl Reeve doesn't like Caitlyn. I don't believe that, but that was a lot of what people were saying online is she doesn't like Caitlyn. Caitlyn should have made the team and she didn't, and blah 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 blah. To a lesser extent, Arike Ogunbowale, because I think a lot of people just didn't know about her, which they should have. But a lot of people are new to the WNBA and they don't quite know. But that was sort of percolating before the All-Star game actually happened. And then when it happened, it was just like boom, and the game was actually really good, and it just sort of helped. I do think that the WNBA needs to have some sort of peg though as we go into next season. Yes, you cannot do Team USA versus Team WNBA because it's not an Olympic year, so you can't do that next year. But maybe you could do some sort of thing where it is old guard versus new guard type of thing, where you get the normal all-star votes come through, and then you say, you know what, we are going to do the 20-year-olds versus the above 20-year-olds or something like that to make it seem like the older players versus the vets. So I think there needs to be some sort of peg to get people to engage. And I mean, for people like me, I don't need anything to engage, but I think for the larger public, they do need something to get them to engage and get them to rock out with the W. So yeah, I would say that would be a pretty interesting idea. One other thing that I've been thinking about, and I was going to show the video of it, but I can't because my computer's acting weird. Was the fact that fans got exactly what they wanted. All right, and this graphic kind of shows it right here. Fans got what they wanted because there's a lot of fans of both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. There's fans. It's like a Venn diagram of sorts. There's a circle of Caitlin Clark only fans. There's a circle of Angel only fans, and then there's in the middle there are people like me who really really like both players. and enjoy watching both players. Think they're both really, really awesome for women's basketball as a whole and for the WNBA. All right, so you have that. And going into this game, there was a lot of talk about, are we going to see it? Are we going to see it? Are they going to do the thing that we want them to do? Are they going to score the basket? Is Caitlyn going to pass it to Angel for an epic bucket and it's going to be pretty awesome? Like, are we going to see that? Fans wanted some level of Caitlyn and Angel interaction. And luckily for us, we got that. And again, I can't show the play here, but I'll try to, if I release this as a separate video, I'll put it there. But we got a chance to see the connection between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and boy, was it really, really, really fun to see. It really was fun to see. We saw there was a fast break opportunity. It seemed like Caitlyn was basically telling Angel to go. Angel runs the floor, ends up getting a pass from Caitlyn and gets the score to go, and boom, crowd goes crazy. Everyone's so excited because we finally got a chance to see Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark in the same jersey, and we got a chance to see them interact with each other on the actual court, not just a slap of the hand, but a chance to really see them together on the basketball court. And it was really fun to see. It was sort of a uniting of Caitlyn and Angel fans. And personally, I was very, very excited about it. I was very, very excited about it. Now, guys in the chat, let me know if y'all were also excited about it. I think it was determined in the chat a while ago that those fans are called Cleese fans, I think. Caitlyn and Angel Reese fans. I think that's what people were calling it. I do think that this is a fan base that should get tapped into. They do have the Get Along t-shirts that the WNBA was selling. And when we talk about the WNBA, those are the two big names out there. And I thought that they both had really good all-star games. And also, I thought that they both were fun to watch. I thought they were both fun to watch. And they both show that, hey, there's no hate between them two. And I think it's pretty fun. I think it is very, very fun to acknowledge. All right, let's get to y'all questions. Zola is asking, Quita, whatever happened to Taya Cooper? I no longer see her on an WNBA roster. Well, Taya Cooper hasn't made a roster spot. I mean, Taya's fine. She wants to play back in the league. I think she got to make a roster. She got to make a roster spot. Coach says, how about team Caitlyn versus team Barbie? But they have to choose their team based off of who the other All-Stars are. That'd be awesome. And I will say, guys, that's kind of what the current All-Star game format is. The two top vote getters get a chance to pick their teams. All right, so that's the case right now. That is the case right now, where the two top vote getters for the All-Star game will get to select who is actually on their roster. So in the event that both of them are the two top roster spots, absolutely, I think that'd be awesome. Should the WNBA decide to just automatically make them the captains right off the bat before voting even starts, I think then you start to worry about that sort of leading to some animosity. But I think next year, if they decide to do the normal All-Star format for next year, I definitely think that we need to see Caitlyn and Angel as the 2 top vote getters, so that way they can pick their teams and it could be a battle between Team Angel, Team Caitlyn. That would be really fun. Personally, I think that would be really fun. I think that would help get a lot of like casual fans to watch the game and to engage. I think that'd be really fun, personally. Let's see. Element says, I call it basketball fans. Alessandra says that Clee's moment was awesome. It really was. It really was awesome. It really was an awesome moment. Zola says, I think for me, nothing is united. You'll see the media in trying to spin narratives when they meet again. Yeah, I'm sure you'll see it. Yeah. Because the media, that's what the media has to do to get votes. Not get votes, to get clicks and views and whatnot. I mean, you know, I get it. Like I understand. You know, we're gonna see. Yes, they had a kumbaya, whatever, and it's not them. They're fine. But the media sort of had a kumbaya moment with them in the All-Star game, and then once the regular season starts back up, it's gonna be all about you know, either anti-Caitlyn or anti-Angel or anti-both, or like it's gonna be a whole thing because the media got to do what the media got to do, unfortunately. But the hope is that, you know, y'all don't get that here. Y'all do not. Y'all don't get that that type of foolishness, that type of nonsense here. So yeah, hopefully that that is interesting commentary as we sort of go on. I do want to talk about one other thing about the All-Star game that I thought was like pretty awesome. Actually, maybe not one thing, maybe 2 things. Yeah, maybe 2 things. One thing that I wanted to talk about that I thought was pretty awesome. I have a graphic for one of them, not of the other. But the fact that Angel Reese made history in this year's All-Star game, the fact that she made history as the first rookie to ever record a double-double in a All-Star game. When we talk about Angel Reese, we talk about double-doubles. That's what we talk about. She is a double machine. And I love to see it. Like we see it all in the regular season. I think the All-Star game helped people to really see really what Angel Reese does. There were some times, again, I can't show the video of it, but there were some times in the All-Star game where she was just skying out of nowhere to get a rebound. And I think a lot of people were like, whoa, she's different. She's, you know, a lot of people talk. I guarantee there was a lot of people who talked about Angel Reese. A lot of people. And I think that a lot of people had not really seen Angel play. And I think that this game in the All-Star game was their first opportunity to see Angel in a WNBA setting against the best of the best. Like literally the best of the best. This was Team WNBA that she was playing against. The best of the best. And what does she do? She dominates. Like this is just, you know, it's just what she does. And I think that it really did wake a lot of people up. I believe it really woke a lot of people up to show them that, y'all, Angel's different. She's not your normal regular degla smegla basketball player. She's not like the narrative about, oh, she can't hit nothing. All she do is get easy rebounds. All she do is get rebounds off her own misses and all this other stuff. No, you saw in that game what Angel Reese was doing. You saw how she was out rebounding Team USA and how she just plays her game. You know, she just does her own thing and is absolutely dominant. And the fact that everybody loves her. Guys, I don't know if you all saw this, but on social media after the game and you know, since, we have seen players fighting over Angel Reese. All right, we have seen lots of players come out the woodwork talking about Angel Reese. Not come out the woodwork, but like, you know what I'm saying, like people who were talking about Angel Reese. There was a whole thing between Dearica Hamby and Asia Wilson and Nneka Ogwumike about Angel, and it was fun to see. And it's like, hey, people love this girl. She's down to earth. She's a regular person, and they really like rocking with her. They really do. They really, really like rocking with her. And you know, people could say whatever they want about her, but I mean, she's beloved already in the WNBA. She's beloved already. And guys, you know, it really is cool to see. It really is cool to see. Here's some screenshots real quick to show the proof about like players' love for Angel. We got on a photo, Dearica Hamby commented Mini 5 and Mama 5. And somebody tagged Nneka and was like, she's taking your daughter, fight back. And then Nneka posts a photo of her and Angel on the bench as like the response. It's like funny to see. It's funny to see, and it was cool to see in the various videos and the various posts, like on social, on Instagram, on Twitter, and all that good stuff. We just saw a lot of love between the vets and Angel Reese. It's clear that she got a lot of people in her corner, a lot of players who are rocking with her and making stuff happen. I mean, I think it's kind of fun. I really do. I think it's all in good fun. I think it's all in good fun. I think it's pretty awesome. But I tell you this, you know, they saw how good she was. They absolutely saw how good Angel Reese was in that All-Star game. I thought that she lived up to what I've been seeing her do for the Chicago Sky, and I think she did give an introduction of sorts to she's given an introduction of sorts to W fans or casual fans who've never seen her play in the W, and seeing her play against the best players in the world. You know, what she can do against literally Team USA. And the fact that she's so humble and she's just like, you know, I would love to join these ladies sometime in the future. You know, she just does her thing. She absolutely does her thing. Machiavelli says they both broke records. That's good. Yeah. So it wasn't just Angel Reese that broke records for the All-Star game. It was also Caitlin Clark. She broke the assist record for the All-Star game, and it was pretty awesome to see that as well. So yeah, I really did enjoy watching both of them play some basketball this weekend. It was pretty fun to see. It was pretty fun to see. And also, I guarantee you, a lot of these W players would love to be teammates with both Angel and Caitlin. Did y'all see there was a particular moment when Caitlin passed the ball. She did a fantastic pass to Aaliyah Boston. She had a really good pass to Aaliyah Boston, and Jonquel Jones turned around and looked like, what in the world? Y'all, it was such a great pass. Aaliyah Boston was cutting to the basket, and Caitlin Clark threaded the needle like crazy. And Jonquel turned and was like, "What? I know you didn't just do that. I know you didn't just do that." And she did do that. I'm just saying, you know, these rookies are built different. These rookies are built different. And as a fan of both, as a fan of the W, I am very, very happy to see it. It was, you know, it was really fun. Kayla says JJ's reaction was the best. It was hilarious because she was like, "Oh my goodness!" She's like, "I've seen this girl do her thing, but what did I just witness? How in the world did she just give Aaliyah Boston that ball?" I'm just saying, like, I don't know how you can look at a pass like that and not be a Caitlin Clark fan. Like, I just don't know. And I don't know how you could be a fan. How you can be a fan of women's basketball and not enjoy the performance that Angel Reese put on an All-Star game and not enjoy the fantastic performance of Arike Ogunbowale. Like, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how you can watch that game and not come out of it being a believer in the WNBA, in women's basketball and them sort of making stuff happen, because it's a masterpiece. It was a masterpiece that we saw this past weekend in Phoenix. All right, it really was a masterpiece. Yeah, Kayla says, plus that pass that was to JJ. Absolutely. There were some great passes in that game. Absolutely. Yolanda says, honestly, this class of rooks, I am rooting for them all. Enjoy watching all these young ladies last college season. So the next years, I am excited to see the new ones come to. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of really good players that are coming in the WNBA. Danny says, Arike put the W on notice. She is about to wreak havoc during the second half of the season. I mean, yeah. I think absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Arike Ogunbowale has been doing stuff. Like, she's been in the top 5 of WNBA scoring ever since she started in the WNBA. From her rookie season on, she's been top 5 in the W. She has the green light in Dallas, and you know, shoot, and that's what a player like Arike Ogunbowale does. She shoots. Yeah, I mean, she's been lighting the league on fire for years, and I think, again, this game was a welcoming, like, it was an introduction of sorts to a lot of WNBA players. There's, again, 3.4 million people watched this game, on average, peaked at 4 million, and they got a chance to witness some players that they never heard of before. They got a chance to witness the awesomeness of Arike Ogunbowale and how crazy amazing she can be. And hopefully, so these newer people who saw them, saw Arike and saw what she could do on the court, hopefully they watch a game or two for the Dallas Wings this year. Hopefully they do that. Bobby says, when Arike is on her game, she's unstoppable. When she's not, she's all right. Kennedy Carter is fire, though. She's lightning fast. Yeah. And I think that really was a good game to sort of get Arike back in the swing of things in terms of just big shot maker and big shot taker. There is a comment that I see in the chat that I want to talk about. And this is probably going to be the last topic related to the All-Star game, and then we'll move on. All right. And again, guys, I am getting to you all's questions. So if y'all have questions, please put it in the chat. Please put your questions in the chat, and I will try my best to get to it. Now, here's another thing that I wanted to talk about. Last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to the All-Star game, and that was this moment. So I've seen people ask this a couple of times in the chat so far, and I wanna talk about it. Okay, I want to talk about this, because I thought this was pretty funny. I thought this was really, really, really funny. Now, did you guys see in the game, in the fourth quarter, time was winding down. Sophie Cunningham was hammered, absolutely hammered. She was interesting. Sophie Cunningham was interesting, but Sophie Cunningham plays for the Phoenix Mercury, and she is definitely a fan of Caitlin Clark, and she basically so Caitlin Clark was mic'd up. She's mic'd up for the entire game. So anytime she said something, it's a possibility that the audience could hear it and know exactly who she's talking to and what she's saying and all that good stuff. All right, so the game is happening. It's basically over. Caitlin Clark comes over to where you have Natasha Cloud, you got Sophie Cunningham, and you have Chrissy Tolliver. They're all courtside having a good time. She walks over there and talks to them, and I think it sounded like she said something like, "Are you guys cheering for us?" And eventually Sophie was like, "Hey, you should come to Phoenix." She basically said to that effect, "You should come to Phoenix." And and it was hilarious, and we heard it at home. Some people are saying that was tampering or whatever. Like, that's what players do. It's not tampering unless the organization is behind it. So if the organization is behind it, then yeah, sure, that's tampering. But if it's a player to player, if a player wants to tell Caitlin, come to Phoenix, because guarantee you guys, every single player in the WNBA who talked to Caitlin, I guarantee you they wanted to ask a similar thing. If not, they probably did. Hey, you ever think about leaving and going somewhere else? You know who to call. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sophie Cunningham, yes, she was wasted. But she said the thing that a lot of WNBA players were thinking. They all want to play with Caitlin. They all want to play with Caitlin, okay? If y'all watched that All-Star game and watched Caitlin in particular, you saw that there was a lot of love going Caitlin's way. I know a lot of people want to make videos about there's a whole lot of people that want to make videos about Caitlin Clark and about how the WNBA hates Caitlin Clark and all this other stuff, and WNBA players are jealous and all they can't stand her and yada yada yada. There's probably, at least at this point, probably 100 videos about that on YouTube, and all of them probably have over 100,000 views. They're top viewed videos on YouTube of people saying how the WNBA hates Caitlin Clark and all this other stuff. But guys, it was never true when they said it. It hopefully makes it as clear as day in that game, in that All-Star game, in that whole All-Star weekend, that WNBA players love Caitlin Clark. All right. It was a whole love fest. She was smiling the entire game, it felt like. Every single conversation that she had with fellow WNBA players, regardless of the team that they were on, was awesome. Like, she was having a good time, and they all wanted to talk to her. They all wanted to just engage with her. And guys, like, the whole narrative about Caitlin and how she how she's hated and how she's miserable and all this other stuff, it's not true. All right, it's not true. It really isn't. But unfortunately, we see unfortunately see this sort of rear its head all on social media. There's so much rage baiting when it comes to women's basketball, when it comes to the WNBA, especially when it comes to Caitlin Clark. There's so much rage baiting of people who just want to be like, Caitlin dunks on the WNBA, says it's trash, and there was never a comment about that. Or it says the WNBA hates this about Caitlin Clark, and there's nothing of substance actually mentioned in the videos and all this. Like, my point is, stop listening to these people who just want to stir you up, whip you up into a frenzy, and make you upset. They want to whip you up and let you know and tell you that everybody hates Caitlin and all this other stuff, and how they don't want her to shine, and they hate the like the attention she's brought to the game and all this other stuff. There's a lot about that. But guys, it was never true. But if you thought it was true, believe this. We saw nothing but love from WNBA players directed at Caitlin Clark throughout the entire All-Star weekend. We saw nothing but love. We saw players going, wanting to talk to her. We saw players wanting to take pictures with her. We just saw a lot of stuff. And so I think that's a thing. And I just wanted to say that. I know, guys, this was a bit of a rant. I apologize for the rant, but like, I don't know, it just kind of frustrates me when I'm just saying, like, it's people who just want to rage bait. They want to rage bait, and they want to make you hate the WNBA, make you hate certain players and whatnot, and they take everything out of context in like some of the worst bad faith of all. And I don't like that. I don't like it. I do not like it, and I just wanted to say something about it. So, anyway, if you did not like this random segue, apologies. I'll move on, but I just wanted to mention that because it's not fair to the WNBA. It's not fair to the game. All right. Yolanda says that liquor will have you speaking your mind. Truth serum. Yeah, a lot of love, but Coach Blondie nervous. You mean Cheryl Reeve? Is that what you mean? Who you mean? I think they're both blonde. Is it Cheryl Reeve or is it Chrissy Sides? Who you think about? Who you think about nervous? who you think about nervous? But yeah, guys, the one funny thing that I saw about All-Star Weekend was the fact that we saw that like press for Team USA against Caitlin, which was pretty funny. Like, I was like, come on now. I thought that was hilarious. Yazora says, the Olympic team picked up Caitlin Clark 94 feet full court. Yeah, it was. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, what? Why are you doing that? And it was funny that they put. It felt like they like wanted to is a lot of respect because they're like, we don't want Caitlin to cook us. We don't want Caitlin to cook us at all. Caitlin didn't have to cook y'all. She just passed the ball and Enrique Agumbawale cooked y'all. So y'all was all worried. Y'all was all worried about Caitlin Clark scoring like crazy, and y'all played some good defense against Caitlin. But it wasn't Caitlin that you had to worry about in terms of scoring. It was Enrique. So it was kind of funny that it was the focus on Caitlin Clark in terms of defense for Team USA, and then and then Enrique just torched him. Like, I don't know. I find it kind of funny. It's like, Cheryl Reeve probably did not want anybody to. She probably wanted the conversation about Caitlin should be on the Olympic team. She wanted that to cease, and so it was like, hey, play her full court. Let's go. And then Enrique just kind of cooked her. I thought that was kind of funny. Okay. King Pisces says race betting been going on for years. Um, this is nothing new. It's been going on for a long time. There's nothing new about it. It's not only happening in the WNBA, but also happening in the NBA, NFL. Yeah, I mean, people want to rage bait. People want to like exaggerate certain stuff and whatnot, and it is what it is. It is what it is. That too, Todd. That too, absolutely. That too. They probably also were practicing for the Olympics as well. Yeah. That as well. Absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, that was pretty funny. So I don't know if you all heard her talk about it, but where is it? But for Angel Reese, Cheryl Miller told Angel Reese, I think I'm starting to like you. Cheryl Miller told Angel Reese, you know what? I think I'm starting to like you. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was amazing. And that's like something that an older person would say. An older person that doesn't know that much about a player, just knows like the hype and whatnot, to be like, once you get to know him and see him play and be like, oh, you know what? I think I'm really starting to like you. I thought it was pretty hilarious. I thought it was pretty hilarious. That particular comment. But yeah, it's Cheryl Miller, Hey, Cheryl Miller says whatever Cheryl Miller wants because she is an absolute legend. So it's like whatever that lady wants to say, whatever. You take whatever she tells you, you take it. Yeah, I love her as a player. I mean as a coach, I think she is absolutely fantastic. So yeah. I am, William. I'm talking about Cheryl Miller. Yeah, I'm talking about Cheryl Miller. I'm talking about Cheryl Miller because it feels like something that yes, honestly is absolutely right. Yes, honestly, I completely agree with you on that. Honestly says that Cheryl Miller is an old head making old head comments. Completely agree. Absolutely agree with that. Yes, she is. And it's what older people do sometimes, They gotta she like, hey, I wasn't sure before, but I'm really starting to like you. Zola says Cheryl Miller also did bring Angel Reese's nemesis in the huddle, Jason Sudeikis. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Did y'all see the way that Jason Sudeikis looked at Angel Reese? Guys, did y'all see that? I thought it was hilarious. So they thought it was a good idea to in one of the huddles bring Jason Sudeikis in the huddle. Jason Sudeikis, if y'all don't know, he is a staunch Caitlin Clark, Iowa, New York Liberty fan. Anything related to Iowa, anything related to Caitlin Clark, anything related to the Indiana Fever, anything related to the New York Liberty, Jason Sudeikis is there. He is. I tell you, man. I tell you, Jason Sudeikis. I don't know what he. I know he's an actor or whatever, but like, this man is always at any New York Liberty game he's at. And he's at as many other games related to anything related to Caitlin or the New York Liberty. He is there, and they brought him in the timeout to sort of pump up the team. And it like everybody else looked like, oh, that's so cool, Jason Sudeikis. And Angel was like, okay, all right. I thought it was hilarious. I thought The way that girl looked at Jason Sudeikis, I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, it was really funny. It was really, really, really funny. Just her look at Jason Sudeikis. And guys, if y'all don't know, there's a thing between Jason Sudeikis and Angel Reese. He during the Iowa LSU game this past season, I should say, he was sort of doing he was trying to troll Angel Reese. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to troll Angel Reese with the hand movements in the Elite Eight. He was at the Elite Eight game when LSU played Iowa, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Angel." And Angel was like, when he joined the huddle, it was like everybody seemed to be all excited about him being there, and Angel was like, okay, all right, can we get back to the real huddle? It felt like that's basically what she was trying to say. I thought it was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But yeah, he trolled her in the Elite Eight, and I guess Angel keeps receipts. Okay, Angel keeps receipts, and she was like, yeah. I thought it was pretty funny. I thought that was a pretty funny moment. I thought it was. KT, unfortunately, I cannot show the video. I probably will release this as a separate video. In that, I can put it in. But if I put video in right now, it is going to absolutely mess up the rest of the stream, and I'm going to have to start over again. So. Leslie says Sudeikis was inserting himself too much. Y'all, Jason Sudeikis, again, anything related to the New York Liberty or anything related to Caitlin Clark, Jason Sudeikis is there, and he is doing his thing. It is what it is. It is what it is. If you don't like Jason Sudeikis, definitely don't watch a New York Liberty home game, because he's probably there. He's probably in the building. I feel like I am always seeing Jason Sudeikis when it comes to women's basketball. Like, I'm constantly seeing him. It's kind of hilarious. But I like fandoms. I like fandoms. Eric says they brought Jason in because Cheryl Miller's marker still didn't work. Some of y'all don't like Jason Sudeikis. To be honest with you, I know nothing about him. I know he's an actor. I've never seen a movie or TV or whatever he's played in. I don't know anything about him. I just know he is a gigantic fan of anything Caitlyn related and anything New York Liberty related. That's all I know. That is all I know. Marina says he can have a seat. Y'all not a fan of his? Y'all not a fan of his? Let's see. Vera says, who is he? Quita? He's an actor. That's what I know. He's an actor. He's famous. What exactly he's done, I don't know. Let me Google him. Jason Sudeikis. Okay. He's in Ted Lasso. Oh, that's the guy. Okay. All right. He's in Ted Lasso. Okay. He is in Ted Lasso. If you watch that. I know it's about a coach, but I don't know anything else about it. But, yeah. That's Jason Sudeikis. Okay. Danny says Aubrey is hilarious. Tore her ACL this weekend. Yeah. They they showed her on TV. Again, that's another person that I had no idea who she was. But yeah, she's an actress as well, I believe, and she tore her ACL playing something. She was doing something basketball related, and she ended up tearing her ACL, which is kind of terrible. All right, guys. Let's move on. Let's move on. Because there's something. Speaking of Iowa, since we were talking about it, I do want to talk about something Iowa related, and it is in relation to Lisa Bluder. So guys, if you don't know, Lisa Bluder recently retired from being the head coach of Iowa women's basketball, and I thought that Iowa did a really, really awesome thing for Lisa Bluder. So if you all don't know, Lisa Bluder, has had a very historic legacy with the Iowa Hawkeyes, and she was honored today with her own Herky. It's called the Lisa Bluder Herky, and if you all don't know, Herky is a mascot for Iowa, for the Iowa Hawkeyes. It's their mascot. It's called Herky the Hawk. It's a very funny hawk, and sometimes they make Herky the Hawk into other stuff. Sometimes Herky the Hawk is can be made into like different stuff that they want to honor. Like I've seen him in like different costumes and whatnot, and to make Herky the Hawk into a Lisa Bluder figure was pretty cool to see. So again, guys, Herky the Hawk is a very popular mascot for Iowa, and they cemented Lisa Bluder in Iowa history with her own Lisa Bluder Herky the Hawk. If you all can see here in the graphic, you see her in the photo. The Herky has one of Lisa Bluder's outfits on and got the hair and whatnot. I thought it was pretty awesome. I thought it was pretty awesome. Leslie says, can't decide if the statue is cute or ugly. I mean, it's Herky the Hawk that they added hair and an outfit to. But other than that, it's Herky the Hawk. It has the same, like, Herky the Hawk is not the best looking, like, I don't know, for some reason the mouth just like kind of bothers me about Herky the Hawk. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty awesome honor. Like, I thought it was pretty awesome to have a Herky the Hawk version of Lisa Bluder. And this is something that Jan Jensen gave to, she displayed it for Lisa Bluder. And it was pretty cool to see. I thought it was pretty awesome to see, personally. So yeah, she is forever enshrined, Lisa Bluder, as Herky the Hawk. So yeah, that was something that I wanted to talk about. I thought it was pretty fun to mention. KT says, looks like a Simpson character. It does kind of. It does kind of look like a Simpsons character. I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah. I would absolutely agree with that. Kelly says, hey, at least it's not Purdue's mascot. That thing gives me nightmares. That's funny. FM says that's creepy looking. KT says LSU mascot be better. Alessandra says, Quita, who is your favorite women's basketball college team? I don't know. I don't have one. I don't actually care about a favorite team in college basketball. I have a favorite team in the WNBA. That's the Chicago Sky. But I don't have a favorite team when it comes to college basketball. I just want to see good basketball. I don't really care who plays. I don't really care what the teams are. I just watch as much women's college basketball as I possibly can, and that's about it. Vic says that was a fun way to honor Coach Bluder. It was. I thought it was a really fun way. I thought it was a really fun way to honor her, and it's a very Iowa way to honor Lisa Bluder. Very, very Iowa way. Alessandra says not even top 3. No, I don't have a top 3 because again, like I don't actually care who wins or loses. Like I don't care when it comes to women's college basketball. I just want to have fun and watch the game, truly. And once the season starts, I'm sure there'll be people in the comments that will be like, Quita, you are a secret blah, blah, blah fan because I say something good about the team. And then when I down them, they're like, I thought you were a fan of blah, blah, blah. No, I wasn't. I was never a fan of them. I just love women's college basketball. I used to have a favorite. Tennessee used to be my favorite team. I used to be a huge Tennessee fan when Pat Summitt was still there. Like I was a ginormous Pat Summitt fan. I'm a fan of personalities, I would say. Like back in the day, I was a huge Tennessee fan. First because of Candace. Second because Pat Summitt was fantastic. I was a big Duke fan because of Gail Gessencourse. I was a gigantic fan of Gail Gessencourse. And I was upset when she left Duke, and I think she went to Texas, I believe, and then I stopped being a Duke fan when she went to Texas. I was a big fan of Sylvia Hatchell with UNC. A big fan of hers. I was also a big fan of C. Vivian Stringer when it came to Rutgers. So for me, it was very much about the coaches that I was big fans of, and none of those coaches are still coaching anymore. So I don't really care who wins and what happens. Let's see if y'all have any comments. Let's see. Yuzora says, Quita, it's no secret, Quita. You told everybody you drove to see Caitlin Clark play in Iowa. I did. I absolutely did. Yes. I will tell everybody that. Yes, absolutely. Me and my mom drove to see Caitlin Clark play in Iowa. We did. It was a preseason game between Iowa versus DePaul. So it was kind of like a twofer. I was like supporting DePaul, but I really did come for Caitlin Clark. It was a historic game. It was the game at Kinnick Stadium, the first Iowa women's basketball game that took place on a football field. So yes, I did go to the game. Absolutely. Just because I went to the game does not mean that I am a Iowa fan. I'm not. I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. I have been a Caitlin Clark fan since she has been in the game. Now, I do have favorites when it comes to players, when it comes to individual players, when it comes to college basketball. Yes, I do have players that I really, really enjoy. And if I'm able to watch a game of them, I want to see it. And that was going to be the only opportunity that I really had to see Caitlin Clark play in college. So I took the chance to see it. And I went down to Iowa because I was a big Caitlin Clark fan. Yeah, no qualms about that at all. No qualms about that. But I'm not an Iowa fan. Iowa's cool. I mean, they're cool, but to me, they're just like everybody else. But I'm a fan of like individuals, not of teams. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that front. That's kind of my thoughts. So yeah. I don't know. Any other questions specific to college? If not, I'm going to go to the Chicago Sky because they do have some news that I want to talk about. Any other Any other comments about college basketball? Alessandra says, I love LSU, UConn, and the Cards. I'm assuming Louisville. I also love watching Amore play. Yeah, Georgia Amore is fantastic. She absolutely is fantastic. Kelly says, fan of basketball, period. Yep. Cyclone says, is Maya Moore young enough for a comeback? Sure. But she's not coming back. Maya Moore is done. She's done. She's only 35 years old. So yeah, she can come back. Absolutely. But I'm sure she hasn't probably played basketball in forever. She's not coming back. She is not coming back. But yeah, she is young enough to do it if she wanted to, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Bobby says, Quita is a closet Clarky. I don't know what exactly that means. I think, I mean, to be a closet something, that means you're like afraid of people knowing. I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. I mean, I don't know what there is to be closeted about. Yeah, I'm a fan of Caitlin Clark. I think most people who are fans of basketball are fans of Caitlin Clark. I've been a fan of hers since she was like a sophomore at Iowa, well before anybody actually knew who Caitlin Clark really was. When she was playing really, really well as a freshman and sophomore, I was a fan of Caitlin Clark's. I'm a fan of Angel Reese. Have been since she was at Maryland. Have been a fan of Angel Reese for a very, very long time. I am a fan of Juju Watkins. I think Juju Watkins is spectacular. She is going to go down, in my opinion, as the best women's basketball player ever once it's all said and done. You know, I'm a fan of Hannah Hidalgo. I think Hannah Hidalgo is so special. She is so talented, and I love the way she plays basketball. I love it. So when I have opportunities to watch some of the best players in the game, in the college basketball game, when I have the opportunity to watch them play, I'm gonna go and watch them play. Absolutely. If I'm able to go to a Notre Dame game this year, absolutely, you bet I'm going. If I have an opportunity to go to a USC game, yes, I'm going to that game. Yes, I am. If I have an opportunity to go to an LSU game, I'm going. South Carolina game, I am going. I am a fan of women's basketball. I don't care about teams, but I want to see great basketball played, and I do recognize the greatness in some of the individuals who play women's basketball. I love it. I absolutely love it. Rayshawn says, I thought you was an Angel fan. Why do you switch up? The thing is, I think here's the issue. Here's the issue that I see in basketball fandom. I don't understand it. I don't understand the fact that people feel like you have to be either or. And it doesn't make any sense. I don't think it makes any sense at all. Yes, I am an Angel Reese fan. Because I'm a Caitlyn fan too, that means I can't be an Angel Reese fan, or vice versa. Rayshawn, I never switched up. That's the thing. Like I think a lot of people feel like you have to be either or. I don't believe that. You know, I am a fan of the Chicago Sky. But then when I say the Sky is gonna lose, then people are like, "What?" People are like, "What? I thought you were a fan of the Chicago Sky." I'm not delusional, guys. Overall, before I'm a fan of any individual player, before I'm a fan of any individual team, I am a women's basketball observer and fan. And so my thoughts and opinions are my thoughts and opinions. They have nothing to do with some allegiance that I have to a certain player. I have zero allegiance to anybody. All right. Well, any like real sort of human. Like I don't understand it. Like why do you have to be either Angel or Caitlyn? Why? I think it's just it's confusing. It makes no sense, and I think it's a disservice to the game to basically be like, oh, you have to choose a side. I don't stand on any side. Okay, I don't stand on any side because ultimately, it doesn't affect me not one bit. Like I don't. It doesn't really matter if if you know the Sky wins or loses. Sure, I want the Sky to win, but if they lose, I don't care. Like whatever. Like it's fine. I want them to win, but at the same time, I'm not gonna like be all upset or whatever. Like it's not that big of a deal. It's sports, guys. I think a lot of people don't remember the fact that this is entertainment, guys. This is entertainment. Absolutely, yes. I have a lot of opinions on women's basketball, and I love the women's basketball. I love women's basketball and whatnot, and I love the Chicago Sky and all this good stuff. But at the end of the day, it's whatever. It's not that big of a deal. I think a lot of people just feel like you have to choose sides, and it's unnecessary. It really is unnecessary. Like it's a thing that people do when it comes to sports. I never have understood it, but it's absolutely a thing where people feel like they got to choose a side. They gotta they have to plant a flag somewhere, and I ain't got no flags nowhere. I don't. So if y'all secretly think I'm a I don't know what do you want to say? If you secretly think I'm a uh crazy fan of blah blah blah, whatever. I don't whatever, dude. Like, it's just basketball, man. It's I don't really care at the end of the day. Like it's not that big of a deal. Basketball is not the most important thing in my life. It's just not. Like this is entertainment to pass the time. That's what women's basketball is. That's what men's basketball is. That's what all of sports is. Okay? It is entertainment to pass the time. That's all it is. That's all it ever should be, in my opinion. I think a lot of people take stuff way too seriously. I think a lot of people are way too obsessed, and I don't get it. But guys, that's my opinion. Um, but yeah. Sorry again. I went on another tangent. It's crazy. Second tangent of the day. We about to get right talking about regular stuff. Okay. We about to get right talking about some regular stuff. Let's see. Road 2 says, thanks, Quita. That's my favorite saying. It's entertainment. Yeah, it is. This is entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, KT, that'll never happen. I don't talk about politics. I don't on this channel. Like, I don't like to talk about anything other than women's basketball. That is the purpose of this channel. I think a lot of times, the thing that annoys me about some people on YouTube and like some people just in general is they feel like once they have a platform to talk about something, then they want to weave politics in, then they want to tell people what they need to think and all this other stuff. That's not me. You will never hear anything about the election. You will never, hear anything about anything related to politics. That's not what we talk about here. That's not what I'm interested in. If y'all want basketball, women's basketball, I got you. If you want anything else, if you want like culture, random culture stuff, if you want politics or like anything that has nothing to do with the game of basketball, go somewhere else. All right. I will not cover anything like that. Just because I don't think it's fair. I think sports fans need to have a space that is just about sports. That's not about telling people what to believe and all this other stuff. It's not my thing. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you believe. If you love women's basketball, this is the channel for you. I can care less about any other opinions that you may have. Okay? I can care less. And that's not me being offensive. That's me just saying that I think there just needs to be a place for just sports and not anything else. All right. So if you disagree, I'm sorry, but that's where we stand on this one. So if you ever ask me any politics stuff, if you ever ask me anything like that, we're not answering it. Okay. If it ain't got nothing to do with women's basketball, and if it ain't got nothing to do with the specific gameplay, we not talk about it. Okay. All right. So hopefully that's cool. Hopefully that's cool with y'all. Hopefully that is cool with y'all. Yuzora says, just give us one game of football commentary when the season starts, Quita. Like a full game? Like y'all want me to do like a play-by-play of an actual game? I mean, I love football. I actually watch a lot of football now. I'm a big Bears fan. I watch most of the Bears games. I love football. I love soccer too. Like I watch a lot of soccer too. So I watch a lot of sports. Like I probably could do a whole nother channel all about soccer, women's soccer, because I'm a big women's soccer fan. I'm also a big Bears fan. I love the Bears and I love Kansas City. All right. I used to love the Seattle Seahawks when Russell Wilson was there. Now, All right. So, guys, let's get into the actual news. Let's get into the news that I want to talk about. Because, guys, I want to talk about something that the Chicago Sun-Times has reported about the Chicago Sky. Okay, let's get into it. All right. So, according to a report by Annie Costable from the Sun-Times, the Chicago Sky is close to getting a practice facility, which is good news. Really, really good news for the Chicago Sky. If you all know anything about the Chicago Sky, you know that they've been playing at a recreation center. They've been playing at Saks Recreation Center in Deerfield for a very, very, very long time. And finally, they are looking to move somewhere else. There was initially talk about them announcing a different location at the beginning of this season. That timeline came and went, and now we are at a new anticipated timeline of when they will announce a new practice facility. So if you know anything about the Chicago Sky, you know that Chicago has a lot to offer players, right? Chicago's a great city. You have a lot of fashion, you got the beach that's really nice. You got a lot of stuff looking up for Chicago in terms of just a place to be. One of the biggest cities in the country, all this stuff. You have lots of great amenities to offer a player, in terms of just being in Chicago. But an issue that the Chicago Sky has had for years is the fact that their ownership group does not invest like other teams. You have the Phoenix Mercury, who just unveiled their new practice facility, which I will be covering soon on this channel. You have the Seattle Storm, who unveiled theirs earlier this year. You have the New York Liberty, who practice in the Brooklyn Nets facilities, which looks pretty awesome. You have the Indiana Fever, who have their own practice facility. You have the Minnesota Lynx, who have their own practice facility. All around the WNBA, the Las Vegas Aces, all around the WNBA, you see teams with practice facilities that look nice, and that is theirs. But for the Chicago Sky, no. They practice at a recreation center in Deerfield, which is very, very far from the arena. the team, is basically in two different spots. You're in Deerfield. Players have apartments in Deerfield. So teams provide housing for players. And so the Chicago Sky, most of the Sky players, they actually live in Deerfield next to Saks Recreation Center. All right, that's where they play. I mean, that's where they live. So they live there. They practice at Saks Recreation Center during home games. Like when they have a home game, they end up having to get a hotel nearby Wintrust Arena. All right. So on games days, they do have to get a hotel nearby. And guys, if you don't believe me, let me just show you in the article itself. Again, this is Annie Costable who wrote the article. Oh, I got to put in my email address. Okay. All right. And also, guys, you can read all of Annie's articles by just putting your email address. You don't have to pay for it, which is great. All right. So I want to show you all where that's at. So according to this article, as I already stated, most of the players for the Chicago Sky live in a complex in Deerfield near the Saks Recreation Center. And when there is a home game, they actually get a hotel nearby to Wintrust Arena so they're not late for the game. Because your place is in Deerfield, Chicago traffic sucks. And if you going all the way from Deerfield to Wintrust Arena, that's gonna be quite a trek. That's gonna be quite a trek for you, and there's a chance that you could be late for the game or something like that. So the team does book a hotel nearby Wintrust Arena for the Sky players when they do have a home game. Now, this new facility that they're possibly going to be moving into, this is actually a facility that's in Bedford Park, which is not that far from Wintrust Arena. It's not that far. It's about 20 minutes or so from Wintrust Arena. So this is in Bedford Park. It's called the Wintrust Sports Complex. Bedford Park is right next to Midway Airport in Chicago. So technically, Bedford Park is a suburb of Chicago, but it's like right there. It's like literally right there. And so the space itself, according to the article, it says the 120,000 foot multi-purpose event center is owned by the village of Bedford Park. It was opened in 2021. It's about $38 million to construct it. It does have 8 high school basketball courts, 1 quote unquote championship court. They have event space, meeting space, and an arcade. So that is what is on their website. Now, the Sky had an option either to build a facility or to buy an existing facility. And right now, it looks like we're not really sure what they're gonna do. Are they gonna rent the facility for the WNBA seasons, or are they going to outright buy it? I think for the WNBA and for the Chicago Sky in particular, I think it makes sense for all of the practice facilities to be owned by the team. Now again, so that's probably going to be like about $38 million if they wanted to buy it straight from Bedford Park, which is the community that actually owns this facility. According to the Sun-Times says, a source says that the goal would be to expand and improve the facility. This is in line with what ownership previously said about wanting a facility that can be used by the community while also offering dedicated space for the team. So yeah, the potential practice facility is already in use by a lot of neighborhood organizations. So you got volleyball there already, soccer, flag football, pickleball, basketball tournaments. There's a lot of stuff that people are already using the Wintrust Sports Complex for. And they're going to have to, if you want to continue having that happen, even if you buy the facility, if you still want to continue having those sort of neighborhood things, then yeah, they're going to have to build on, because the way the sports complex is currently situated, it's not set up. It is not set up right now for a WNBA team to have a practice facility. It's not set up for that. It's set up for a lot of different use cases with a lot of different organizations. And yes, the Sky would have to build on. They would have to build out a real state-of-the-art workout area, state-of-the-art locker rooms. Like, they're going to have to really build a lot of stuff out, because you can't really use the current stuff. Because yeah, it's talking about the facility. Yeah, it's not that far. It's really not that far from Wintrust Arena at all. It's about 20 minutes. It's not that big of a deal. If the Sky were to select this as a place, they could get apartments nearby for the team to live in, and they don't have to worry about getting a nearby hotel on the day of games. So that's something to note. And the article also talks about how the Sky general manager hopes to have something very, very soon. So that's going to be pretty cool. We will see ultimately what happens. The article also talks about how the Phoenix Mercury, as I said earlier, have their own practice facility, and how Kalia Copper was so excited about it, and how the Sky have lost out on players like a Nneka Ogwumike, like a Skylar Diggins-Smith, because their facilities don't equate with what Seattle has and what other teams have. When we talk about the Chicago Sky, people love Teaspoon. That coaching is not an issue for players to come to Chicago. That's not a problem. It's not about Chicago as a whole. People like Chicago. They want to live in Chicago. However, if the practice facilities suck, if you're practicing at a nearby rec center, nobody wants to do that. Not a lot of players in the WNBA wants to do that. And so I'm happy that they potentially will be getting this sports complex. Hopefully they buy it, so that way they have full control over it, and that way the city of Bedford Park does not get to tell them what to do with their space. Hopefully they can own it and build onto it and make some stuff happen. Because come next season, this team needs to be out of the recreation center. This team needs to be out of it because it's not a good look for players. It is not going to help at all. It is not going to help the Sky recruit new people to come to their team. And we got one of the best most popular players in the world, or in women's basketball, in Angel Reese on our team. Right now, she seems to be fine with Saks Recreation Center, but come free agency time, if the Sky don't have their stuff together, you're gonna see players like Angel Reese leave for not necessarily for better coaching or anything like that, but for better amenities. If the Sky cannot compete, players will leave. They will. And so I'm hoping that this is going to help. According to Angel Reese, she says, we got everything we need right now. I know Alter and Pagliacca are doing a great job being able to put that in the works. We're happy where we are right now. We're continuing to be great without it. I know, obviously, it will be great when we do get it. That was her talking specifically about the practice facility. So yeah, that's kind of some thoughts about the Chicago Sky and how they hopefully will be getting a new practice facility very, very soon, because you want to keep up with the Joneses. You do. Because in the WNBA, it's parity in terms of what teams can pay players. But what are some of the other things that you can offer players to get them to say, you know what, I think I'm gonna sign with you. You know, so that's something that should be in the minds of the Sky ownership, and hopefully, I'm hoping they don't go the cheap route. I'm really hoping that they do not go the cheap route. Please buy this facility and improve it. Don't just rent the facility and try to make it do. No, because that's the same thing as Saks Recreation Center. Sac Recreation Center, they did make some changes to the rec center, and they added the Sky's logo on there. They had a banner there. Like they added some stuff to make the Sky comfortable, but that's not enough. You need to buy the facility, completely change it, add on to it, and make it into one of the biggest and best practice facilities in the WNBA. That's going to win us several championships. It is, if they want to invest. The key is, are they willing to part with some money? I think that's the key question. That is the key question. Yuzora says the owners can be scared to spend money to help their franchise. Yeah, they can't be, but I think they are scared because they're not as rich as Matt Ishbia and some of the other owners in the WNBA. They're not as rich as them. So. Row 2 says, I hope they buy it as well. The Sky needs a state-of-the-art facility. Owner needs to invest in the team. They have players coming whose college facilities were better. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's an absolute downgrade. Looking at the LSU locker room that they unveiled this past season and looking at what the Sky has. It is. You're already playing in DePaul's arena for the games, which I'm cool with. I'm cool with them playing there, but it already doesn't feel like your house. You know, you already don't have your own locker rooms per se because they have DePaul stuff on it. You know, you need to have like one of the best sports medicine places in the WNBA. That's what you need. And we'll see if it happens. We will absolutely see. Alessandra says, take care of your players and they will take care of you. That is straight up facts. Straight up facts. Darnell says, lack of a practice facility puts teams at unfair disadvantage. I mean, they have a practice facility. It just sucks. They have one. It's just not good. That's all. And it's hurting their ability to recruit top talent to their team. SR says, I think Angel will leave because of the practice facility. She says it's okay. They don't have one, but she definitely wants one. Of course she wants one. And, I mean, she's with the team for at least 3, if not 4 years, assuming that they pick up their option for her in the 4th year. So they got until then to figure it out. Or really, realistically, they got until next season. They got until the start of next season to figure it out. Guys, I think that is it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Guys, I make content all about women's basketball, so if that is something that you are interested in, I would love to ask if you can hit that subscribe button. It really does help the channel out a whole lot when you can subscribe. I make content all about women's basketball, so if that is your thing, please rock with me here. Subscribe, hit that like button. Also, if y'all want some merch, y'all can get that at QLSapparel.com. QLSapparel.com. I'm wearing one of my shirts right here. This is the Anybody Can Get Got shoe edition. So yeah, get some merch if y'all would like. But guys, that's been the stream. Again, I thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Sorry for the technical issues earlier in the stream. But thank y'all so much for those who came back and is still rocking with me. But yeah, guys, that's it. I have nothing else to say. I may or may not go live tomorrow. Not totally sure. Not Yeah, Danny, that is a fabulous question. I am not totally sure, guys. I took off yesterday and today from work. I'm back at work tomorrow, and I just got to see how crazy it is. Like I'm probably like crazy backed up at work. So I don't know. My hope would be to go live again tomorrow. Um, and start to really dive into the Olympics coverage. But I'm not quite sure yet. I think you know, I'll know for sure probably like by like noon tomorrow if I'm gonna be able to go live or not. Yeah, I think we'll see. So yeah. Juice says the W hat already has the most engaging element, which is competitive players. They do. Element says Quita covers the whole league very well. Criticism is due, but very supportive of the players and positively towards all fans. Yep, that is my deal here. That is my deal. I will absolutely say what I feel. But ultimately, the whole point is to uplift the game of women's basketball because I love it and I want to see it grow. I absolutely want to continue to see it grow. Let's see. Element also says, I will block people who are baiters, master baiters. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are clickbaiters, who, do their thing. Alessandra says you give accountant vibes. Is that your job? No, that's not. I wish it was because I feel like I'd make way more money if I was an accountant. I feel like I'd be wealthy or something if I was an accountant. But yeah. Anyway, I'm not an accountant. No. All right, guys. I think that is. Element Gold says, think of us when you're buried. You brought us the goods. Yeah. Yeah. I'll think of you out tomorrow when I am like crazy in work and I'm just like, oh crap, I have all this stuff to do. I have a lot of meetings tomorrow too. I have a lot of meetings, which sucks for coming back. You got a lot of meetings and then you have a lot of work that you need to do, and it's tough. It is absolutely tough. It is very tough doing this and having a YouTube channel that I actually like try to post on pretty often. But guys, I would try to be back tomorrow. Hopefully I will be. But thank y'all for rocking with me. I hope y'all have a great rest of your evening. Yes, Bobby. Bobby says, what a peaceful chat room. Yeah, I really do appreciate y'all for rocking with me and being civil and cordial in the chat. It is okay to disagree, but it is not okay to be like extremely rude. And I appreciate y'all for doing a really good job at being civil and being nice to one another. Because you don't always have to agree to be civil and nice. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. Until next time, guys. I see comments about Dwayne Wade being a minority owner. Yeah, he is a minority owner of the Chicago Sky. Yes, he is. All right, guys. Until next time, I appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Tell somebody that they matter because they do. Hopefully, I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.